What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Zero Lab, and today we are taking a look at a TCG Pocket deck that took down a 1,000 player tournament over the weekend, and that is the Giratina EX deck with Mewtwo EX. This deck is just big basic EXs doing a big damage and having lots of supporters and item cards to back them up. So as you'll see, we just have one Mewtwo EX in here, two Giratina EXs, two potions, two Pokeballs, two Giant Capes, a Rocky Helmet, two research, and then lots of supporters: one Sabrina, one Leaf, one Cyrus, one Dawn, one Mars, one Pokemon Center Lady, and two red, rounding out the list here. So we're going to jump into a few games here on the TCG Pocket ranked match ladder and see how we can do with this 1,000 player defeating deck. Yeah, big basics seem to be the name of the game in TCG Pocket, which is a little bit unfortunate if you're coming from sort of the competitive TCG. A lot of the hopes with Pocket were that it would kind of be a slower game, more based around evolution and longer games, more turns, those sorts of things. But the designers have been really leaning into these basic EXs, which I don't know how you feel about it. Some people think that's bad. Some people think that's fine. But I am still definitely having lots of fun with the game, and it's fun to be playing these new decks as these new expansions come out. I think we did get confirmation, too, that the next main set comes out at the end of April. Some people think that the expansions are coming out too quickly. I think they are coming out just right. Personally, big fan of the release schedule of these sets, keeping the game fresh, keeping us having things to do in the game is really, really nice. So we're off to a good start here. We've got the Giratina EX, and we're going to use that Broken Space Bellow ability to attach a Psychic Energy to it and then end our turn. One more turn attachment, one more Broken Space Bellow, and this Giratina EX will be fully powered up and ready to go. Looks like we are playing against the Wug Trio EX deck. I think Wug Trio EX is really underplayed. I think that card is quite good. And they're going to have it fully powered up here at the end of this, on their next turn. If they have the Wug Trio EX in hand, that might be a little bit scary for us. All right, we're going to play a research here. See if we can't draw into another basic Pokemon. We've got big hand here. Broken Space Bellow will get that final energy attachment that we need. We have the Sabrina in hand to target down that Wiglet if they don't bench anything else. They do Iono us here, but our hand was enormous, so we're gonna get a lot of cards from that. As long as we draw back into our Sabrina, that would be really nice. We do draw into our Pokemon. We do draw into our Sabrina and a potion, so that is all good on our end. Unfortunate for our opponent, we did draw into that Sabrina, so we're going to be able to target down that Wiglet here. I think we're going to put the Giant Cape on this Mewtwo. Not sure that we need to be setting up the other Giratina at this point. So going to Sabrina up that Wiglet, take the knockout here. And I'm not sure our opponent's going to be able to recover from that, unfortunately. Pretty far ahead at this point since they have no attackers established. I think they've either left the game or we're going to see a concession here. Just gotta wait for that time limit to expire. Alrighty, just waiting on our opponent to return or concede. Otherwise, we just gotta wait for this turn to end so we can knock out this Manaphy with our Giratina EX. Move on to game 2. But we get to keep listening to the sick ranked match music, the new music in the game for these ranked battles. Just waiting another 40 seconds. I do wish, like, if your opponent closes the application, I do wish that it just had them concede quicker. Obviously they've left the game. I don't know why we're stuck here waiting for the battle, but that's all right. One of the things that's interesting about this deck is I obviously can fit more trainers in it than the Giratina Darkrai Dredagon version, but I do think the Dredagon and Darkrai version had a lot of things to recommend it. Obviously, forcing your opponent to hit into those Dredagons with the Rocky helmets is really annoying for them. But this version just is setting up the Giratinas much more quickly because you have the Psychic Energy to attach to the Giratina. They're a little bit more consistent because you do have, just those 3 basic Pokemon. So you're more likely to start the Giratina as well. So you're using that ability from turn 1, even if you go first, getting that energy attachment on there. So certainly a lot to recommend this version over the other versions. We are going first this time. Starting the Mewtwo, but we have the Pokeball for our Giratina, so we will be able to use that Broken Space Bellow ability. Top deck of the potion. Double Giant Cape in hand. There's the Giratina. And we will just Broken Space Bellow to end our turn here. Attach an energy to that Giratina EX. Giant Cape onto the Pikachu. Attach return. Spark going to do 10 damage to each of our Pokemon. Let's see what our top deck is here. It is a research. That's great to see. I'm going to research here. Pokeball thins the deck of our other Giratina. I think we're just happy to attach and then Broken Space Bellow here. Not sure we need to put the other Giratina EX in play. If we top deck our Leaf, we are ready to attack next turn. Otherwise, it'll just be an attach return onto the Mewtwo and then the Broken Space Bellow to get that 4th energy onto our Giratina. Raichu coming into play here. It has the Resilience Link. Takes 30 less damage from attacks if they have an Arceus in play. And then the Spark does 40 plus 20 to one of my bench Pokemon. Do have the Pokemon Center Lady. I'm just going to play Research here. Red and Sabrina. Going to attach return onto the Mewtwo. Broken Space Bellow. Then next turn we'll have the Giant Capes to put onto our Pokemon. Pokemon Center Lady to heal some damage. See if our opponent finds their Arceus. Obviously if they do, we cannot one-shot the Raichu with our Giratina. X speed going to allow them to retreat. So it looks like they don't have the cards necessary to make that happen, but we do have our Sabrina to target down that Raichu next turn, unfortunately for them. Alright, we're going to attach for turn to this Mewtwo. Play our Sabrina here. Retreat into the Giratina. Put down our Giant Capes. And Chaotic Impact will take the knockout. So we take the first point here. And while we're waiting on our opponent's turn, don't forget to like this video if you enjoy the content here at the Zero Lab. Leave a comment down below what you think of the new decks from the Shining Revelry format. And then hit that subscribe button as it helps us grow this channel here. All right, we're in a good spot. We're just going to attach to the Mewtwo EX. We'll put a potion down onto this Giratina. And then Chaotic Impact will take the knockout here on the Shaman. Just need one more knockout to win the game. Rocky Helmet going to do 20 back to us. I don't believe there's any way for them to do 100 to us next turn, though, so I think we're in an okay spot. Chaotic Impact should just take the final knockout that we need next turn. There's the Raichu. Obviously, if they get Cape plus Arceus in play this turn, we can't one-shot the Raichu. However, that would be a lot to ask from that 3-card hand, and there is the concession. So another win for the Mewtwo Giratina deck. Let's jump into a game 3. See if we can't keep winning, but climbing up these ranked matches. Jump into another battle. Heads, that means we're going first, so when I start the Giratina, we do start the Giratina Dawn, a couple of reds, and the Giant Cape in hand. Looks like we're going up against a Grass-type deck. Curious what kind of Grass-type deck this is. Could be Executor EX, could be the new Meowscarada decks that have been popping up with the Arceus and the Carnivine and those sorts of things. Which might be kind of a tough matchup for this deck. You don't get going super quickly, and the Carnivine can hit pretty early for good damage output. So we shall see. Waiting on our opponent to start the game here, though. And it is a Delmise here. We're going first. Top deck of the Cyrus. I think we're just going to hold everything and just Broken Space Bellow to start the game. This could be some sort of Celebi deck. Usually those play the Delmise. We could see like the Snivies come down with the Superiors and those sorts of things. Double Pokeball from our opponent. There's the Snivy. There's a Celebi EX. Attach for turn onto the Celebi. Probably just a pass back to us. All right, we have a Pokeball to start with. Finds us our Mewtwo. Just going to hold that for now. We're going to throw the Giant Cape onto the Giratina EX. Broken Space Bellow, get that third energy on there. And then we have the attach for turn to have that Giratina fully powered up. Servine coming into play, so they get to that Superior quite quickly here. Got a Morlul as well. Interesting. Attach for turn. And then just Chaotic Impact for the knockout. It'll be interesting to see what they're able to do here. Obviously, if they just have the Superior in hand, they could take the knockout with that Celebi this turn. Attach for turn would allow them to flip 6 coins with the Superior. So maybe we should have put the Mewtwo EX in play. But I think if they one-shot us here anyway, we are in trouble. So do they have the Superior? That is the question. They do not have the Superior. They still could flip 3 heads, but they don't. They flip 1 heads, and we win. Doing 130 damage with this Giratina EX. Going to knock out this Celebi, take those final 2 points that we need to win the game. And there is the concession from our opponent. So you can see how oppressive this deck is. Really big HP basic Pokemon EXs, powering themselves up with their abilities and then just taking big knockouts, swinging for big damage. Makes a lot of sense why this is one of the best new decks in the game, using that new Giratina EX. If you guys enjoy the content here at the Zero Lab, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Comment down below what you think of these videos, what you think of the Giratina Mewtwo deck, and then hit that subscribe button as it helps us grow this channel. And we'll see you guys in the next video.